Hey y'all, how's everyone doing? My phone went off this morning early with an alert that we were going to have severe thunderstorms, and they were headed for my area. So I got up early, 4 a.m., and went in there and got dressed. So here I am, just sitting here waiting on the storm, and so far, no storm. Have you ever found yourself in your lifetime just sitting around waiting on a storm? Seems like everything around you is kind of changing and you just know there's a storm on the way. Well, that's kind of where I was this morning, and reminds me of a time in my life where I've been waiting on a storm because I knew it was on the way. I was asked a question this morning. So many of you send me your prayer request and ask me things on private message, and I'm sure it's because you don't want everybody to know you're asking me. And hey, I will protect your confidence. But I got to thinking, you know what? If she wants to know this, then there's probably others that are wondering the same thing. Question I got this morning was, Vonda, I've been noticing all the videos that you've done about Young Living Oils, and what is all the hoopla? Why is everybody so interested in these oils right now? Is this just some gimmick, or what is the deal? Well, you know what? I'm going to answer it, and I'm going to answer it to the best of my ability, and I'm going to answer it from my story, because I don't know what everybody else's reason is, but I know what mine is. About a year ago, I was going through a really hard time. I do a radio show, and in the middle of my radio show, I would just stop and start having coughing fits. I call them fits, but I was just, I couldn't quit coughing. And so every Friday, I would leave the radio station defeated. I would think, there's just no way I can continue to do this. I don't know what's going on. But I had an underlying health issue from when I was just a young girl, pregnant with my daughter. I was diagnosed with ovarian cancer. And thank God that I'm healed from the ovarian cancer. But when you go through things like this, sometimes later on you experience some bumps in the road. And mine was an autoimmune disease that I was just pretty much looked at by a doctor in Birmingham, and he said, there is no cure for this autoimmune disease. All I can do is treat your symptoms, and as they get worse, we'll have to do some more aggressive things. My eyes were just dry all the time. I felt like I had sand in my eyes. And he said the next step is to put in artificial tear ducts. Well, I don't know about you, but that just didn't sound too fun to me. And so Ashley started taking the chemicals out of her house. And Priscilla, really, my granddaughter, she battles allergy and sinus and stuff like that a lot. And a lot of times you'll see in her pictures her little eyes underneath here real dark, during the worst allergy times and seasons and stuff. So I purchased a kit, and I put the thing, it came in the mail, and it sat on the floor in my kitchen for I don't know how long. And one weekend, we had a singing. And I thought, there is no way that I can sing. I can hardly even talk. And if I start to sing, I start coughing. And I looked down there and I saw those oils. And I got them out. I plugged in my diffuser. I put peppermint and thieves in the diffuser. And I just began to breathe it in the house. Another friend of mine had mixed some local honey and put some thieves in there and had given me some. And so there was just a couple of different things that I tried. And I noticed that my eyes wasn't as dry as they were. I noticed that my voice wasn't as raspy. But the biggest thing that I noticed was that the cough had kind of went away. And if I did have a cough, it wasn't just a chronic cough. I would cough and then I would be done, but it wouldn't just like sit there and take over me, So I talked to Ashley, and I said, I think that these oils are truly helping. She said, Mama, I'm not a doctor, but I know that a lot of the things that you're going through, other people have gone through them too, and they say that the oils have helped. So, I don't know everything there is to know about Young Living Oils, but I can promise you this isn't something new. The company's been around well over 20 years. I don't remember the exact number, but it's 20 something. And it's just something that's been here, but I think that we try to educate ourselves more now because, you know, we're getting to the age where we get to the doctor, we have something going on, and he says, you know what, you know more about this than I do. When they diagnosed me with Sjogren's syndrome, I walked in the doctor's office with a stack of papers that thick, and I was asking him questions, and I wanted answers because this was affecting my way of life. And he looked at me and he said, Miss Easley, he said, you know more about Sjogren's syndrome than I do. I was just wondering how to get a stack of papers like that you've got so that I can study more about it. This is something that, you know, we don't know that much about yet. So I'm not a doctor, and the girls in my upline that have introduced me to Young Living, they're not doctors. And you know what? I know my body better than you know yours, and you know yours better than I do. But I do know that since I've been using the Young Living oils, I've barely been sick. I've barely been to the doctor. I feel different. I'm not thinking about giving up my radio show anymore. And I'm thankful. I'm so thankful. And I've told people over and over and over, you know what? I thank God that there's an oil for that. There's an oil to help me. And oils are not new. You know, they were used in the Bible. And if they were good enough for baby Jesus, they're good enough for me. Thank you for your time. I'd be glad to help you anyway. If I could, private message me, and I won't call you out on Facebook. But y'all stay safe from these storms today.